it's Jessica. Welcome and welcome back to the Not Carrie Bradshaw YouTube channel. In this video, I am talking about season 2, episode 5 of Interview with the Vampire. This episode really did a great job of inflating the balloon of tension. What the hell happened? And I really wanted to just breeze through and finish the whole series and just wrap these videos up in one, but I prefer to do things episodically, but this was really tough because I need to know where this is going. So basically, the episode begins with Louis and Armand are kind of romanticizing their relationship a little bit, and then Armand ends up going off to eat. Now, this is notable because Daniel is like, well, how do you ethically eat or hunt, right? So Armand basically kind of like attracts horrible people in the world and uses some sort of skill that they meet a peaceful end. And we come to find out what that is later in the episode. So while Armand is off feeding, Daniel is like, hey, I have some questions about the first time you and I interviewed. I have been doing all of this, allowing you the odyssey of your memories and all of the things and letting you have this catharsis where you can trauma dump on me. Give me something because I'm here for you. Give me something. What happened that night in 1973? So Daniel's questions circle around the fact that he is a recovering drug addict, right? And so he did... Sorry, they are doing work on another unit. Sorry if you guys can hear that. So they did consume drugs. Well, Daniel consumed drugs. So a lot of his memory of the night is really hazy. And he remembers these kinds of bits and pieces. And he thinks that this memory is foggy because of the drug use. And we find out later why the memories are foggy for both of them. So first he's like, well, did we sleep together? So I said, let me find out Daniel is gay for pay or bi for stories, okay? So he is suspicious of Louis' story because just imagine someone comes and tells you, hey, I'm a vampire. I want you to interview me so that I can tell you about my life. That dog won't hunt because even if you can allow yourself to believe, okay, vampires are real, why would you want to tell me about that? Shouldn't you want to remain anonymous? Like, what are we talking about here? So Daniel wants to know why Armand saved him from Louis' wrath. And his understanding is that he passed out after Louis attacked him and they dumped him in a drug den. And so we get to see what actually happened, or at least what Armand has led them to believe happened. So Louis has invited Daniel, but in 1973, Louis invited Daniel to his bachelor pad, I guess, because when Armand shows up and sees what happened, he's like, oh, so I have to clean up another boy. So it looked like this has happened repeatedly. So I guess at this point, the relationship is somewhat open, right? And Daniel has always been Daniel. So he starts asking Louis these more probing questions about Claudia and about Lestat. And he's kind of being a little bit flippant about it. And this sets Louis off. So Louis attacks him. And right then, Armand swoops in, pulls him off of him, and Daniel is helping Louis to remember that he walked into the sun. He's like, listen to the door slams, and then there's another door that opens. Where did Armand find you? Where did he follow you to? And so this is almost like a hypnosis kind of thing of recounting this memory. And so then he recalls, oh my God, I tried to kill myself. And Louis and Armand had this huge blow-up fight where they were saying the worst things that they could to each other, spraying each other with their own tea. Just, it's certain things like in a partnership that you just don't bring up. It's some shit that you just don't say because you're not going to be able to come back from it. This was that kind of argument. So Armand has to nurse, basically, Louis back to health while he is like severely burned. And let me just say, the makeup here was spectacular. They did a great job on the body makeup here. And then it ends up being that Armand is jealous of the fact that Louis found Daniel so fascinating. So we have a better understanding of why there's this contention between Louis and Armand and why why Armand didn't really want Louis being interviewed by Daniel by himself. It looks like he has been trying to control the narrative. Once you see this episode, it's like, oh, what happened here? So they all have the same recount of why Armand saved Daniel, which is, oh, I knew that he was going to be valuable to him. He was very taken by him. How did you all have the same verbatim understanding of what happened there? So Armand had to kill the neighbor who saw them when he was taking out his trash. And it was just like Louis was just doing this very sloppily. And Armand is like, do I have to like pay for what happened in Paris forever? And it's like, oh girl, what happened in Paris? I can't wait till we get there. So Daniel remembers Armand talking to him, basically torturing him, right? Because at this point, Armand is fed up. He's pissed off with what Louis has said to him. And he's just like, okay, y'all want to play? Let's play. So he wants to find out why Daniel is so fascinating to him. So he's probing his mind for like the worst memories that he can think of to throw them in Daniel's face. And it's low-key like he's kind of like, you smoke crack, don't you? Like it was giving Lean on Me in a certain kind of way. And so he's like, you told this girl in high school you'd only sleep with her if she put a paper bag over her head, and you did it and you felt good about it and she cried through it, and you did this and you did that. And he's trying to get Daniel to beg him for death, which he ultimately does. And then Louis has to come save Daniel from Armand, because he's like, you don't have to kill this one. And it is like, why did Louis feel like he didn't want Daniel to be taken care of? That is, a fair question. But you get this beautiful scene of the two of them leaning into each other at this table, both half dead. And he's like, Louis tells him it says like a certain line, which Daniel goes and finds in his book. I thought that it was a junkie who was telling me this because I remember the person being burned. And he says like the person did like a Richard Pryor, like he basically set himself on fire in this drug den. And he's like, I blurred the memory in my mind that I thought that this was another junkie ODing in front of me that was pouring into me, that was telling me that I'm a good writer and telling me that I'm good enough. And it changed something for me, but it wasn't a junkie, it was you. So now these memories are kind of like solidifying, right? And also, we see that in his rage, in his anger, Armand was telepathically communicating to Lestat to tell him, I have Louis, he's hurt, but I'm not going to tell you where he is. And Lestat wants so badly to tell him, to tell Louis, like, I love you, but Armand won't deliver the message. Because Armand is like, you don't want peace, you want the crazy. I'm going to give you the crazy. You want crazy, I'll show you crazy. It's whatever, I'm on whatever type of time you on, right? So they both come to realize that Armand altered both of their memories in the same way, and they want to know what actually happened. So that's where the episode ends. That it wasn't just Daniel's memory that was altered, it was also Louis'. So Armand is looking real funny in the light. What's going on here, right? And it also says something about the fact that, like, damn, Louis, you keep choosing these abusive ass partners. Let's look at your pattern here, okay? So that's it for episode 5. I will be back for episode 6 because I cannot wait to see where the storyline is going. Be sure to like and comment and subscribe and share and join the Patreon, and we'll talk soon. Bye.